All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Kyle Bazzi again, president of Benzinga, with the Benzinga Fintech Awards. As you know, we are looking for companies that are innovating the space with their products to help you create wealth in the markets, whether that is saving money, making money. That's what we're all about. Up next, we have Singh, co-founder and CEO, or the man in business development of Vetr, a new analyst rating crowdsourced platform. JD, what's happening?
How's it going, Bazzi? It's been a while since we hung out.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Like I said, I still cherish and envy the beard you can grow, as you know I can't. And we were just talking about if great beards are indicative of success of companies. Let's hope so for Vetr. I like what you guys are doing. Before we jump into the innovation, talk to us about what is Vetr for everybody that doesn't know. How did you guys come up with the idea to start it, and who's behind it?
Sure. So we started the company about a year ago, and the idea really, the idea really came from a couple of things, right? Where we felt that investment research is broken for the retail investor, and then we also felt that the crowdsource model is now a proven model, specifically in other industries, to make better decisions, right? We use Yelp to help us make decisions on what restaurant to eat at. We check TripAdvisor to see what hotel to stay at. So we thought to ourselves, why couldn't we apply the same model to the investment world? And that's really what we did. We created a platform that lets users create ratings, and we crowdsource ratings for the stock market. And it was, it's been interesting. It's been fun. Building it, and our users really get a lot of utility out of our platform, and we feel like we're growing really quickly. To create a rating, it's super simple, just a target price and a target date. So Apple's going $150 in 1 year. That's enough for a rating on our platform, and then we aggregate all those ratings, and then we visualize them in the form of a star rating on an overall stock level. So it's super easy to understand what the sentiment of the investment community is. 5 stars for Apple means it's a strong buy. It's really easy to understand. It's intuitive. People get it. And our goal there is really to allow users to get the sentiment of the crowd, and therefore make better decisions when making investments, and ultimately to generate more money, at the end of the day.
All right, I want to jump into this idea a lot more and why that actually matters, because I love the disruption inside an old space like analyst ratings on Wall Street. Real quick, give us a sense of the company. You guys been around for a year. Have you guys raised money? How many people are at the company? Where are you guys located?
Sure. So we got angel money right in the beginning through Jan Van Eck, who's the CEO of Van Eck Global. He's a big advocate of the idea. He loves star ratings for the stock market. We launched, we went live about 6 months ago. The team is really small. We try to keep it really lean. It started off with 2 of us, and we just hired a 3rd person a few months ago. So we like to keep the company lean. We're growing pretty quickly in terms of users adopting the platform, and we want to keep going with that.
Okay, so let's jump now into analyst ratings, and give us an idea of the landscape of what's out there right now, and why are crowdsourced ratings on companies even relevant or useful?
Sure. So I think an interesting data point about analyst ratings is that over 95% of analyst ratings, sell-side analyst ratings, are actually buy ratings. And we feel that there's a bit of a conflict of interest with analysts in general, because they're pushed to essentially sell product, and obviously they're going to want buy recommendations out there more than sell, because then they can actually sell that product. But with users, they don't have that they don't have that conflict of interest in our view. With actual investors, people putting their money in, and we also feel that it's really difficult right now to get an understanding of what the investment community is thinking, right? You can read a ton of articles until your eyes are bloodshot, and you won't really get an understanding of what investors are thinking and what their sort of focus is on, and what their price targets are for various stocks. So this gives a glimpse into that into that world, into that psyche of the investor community as a whole. And we've seen it in other industries happen time and time again. People have compared us to Yelp, and it's very interesting because we sort of see Yelp as a crowdsourced model, and then we see Zagat as what analysts are, right? So Zagat is a paid for product, and it's basically one analyst, one person that's a food critic that's rating a restaurant, where on Yelp you have everyone that's eating their rating, and you can see how quickly Zagat sort of went away in terms of in terms of restaurants. And TripAdvisor is doing the same thing for hotels, and there's all these other companies are disrupting this in a similar way, and this is our take on the stock market.
So I like Apple. I come to Vetr, and I'm a retail investor. Am I your typical customer right now? And if I come there and I see something maybe looks bearish on Apple, how am I using that? Like, tell me how I'm making money.
Right. So most of our users are retail investors, individual investors, self-driven. The most utility that they get out of it is a data point, right? It is their view or their glimpse into the world of the investment community and what the mentality of the investment community is. So you're very bullish on Apple. You're thinking about buying shares of Apple. You've done your research. Now you go on to Vetr and you see what everyone else is saying, what the sentiment of the community is, and use that as an additional data point to execute a trade, really, or not to.
Have you seen, or have you guys done any analysis on your data in terms of comparisons to analyst ratings, or have you seen anything where your bullish or bearish sentiments from the crowd have produced results if you actually looked at it in a certain time period for that stock?
So right now we're in the process of doing all that analysis because we have 17,000 ratings on our platform, actually over 17,000 ratings on our platform already. So we're now sort of back checking and making sure that is seeing where the data is taking us, and that's going to be released really soon. Some of the reporting around that. So that's something that Vetr users and potential Vetr users should definitely be on the lookout for.
Good. I like talking about what's coming in the future, and I really like this idea. I mean, there's the crowd has already proven itself that can be more accurate than the tools and experts that we have out there right now, or the experts that are bestowed upon us. When a user makes a rating on a stock, is there a time period that they're looking at? Do they look at like a year outlook or something like that?
Yeah, so there's actually a few different time frames, right? So we have 3 months, 6 months, or a year. So a user can put in a target price for that time frame, right? So and the reason for that is if someone's going to say that Apple's going to go to 150 in 3 months, it's very different than saying Apple's going to go to 150 in 12 months, right? One is obviously more bearish or bullish than the other one. So we take that into account. That's part of our algorithm, and it's important to see how bearish or bullish each position is. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about you as a business again. How are you guys making money if you are? Obviously, it's all about the users being only a year old, but what's the plan for the business model?
So business model right now, we aren't focusing on generating revenue. Our biggest focus is actually just to build a bigger user base, because with any type of crowdsourcing platform, the more opinions you get on there, the more accurate things get, right? So that's been our main focus. But down the line, there will definitely be potential there for ad revenue and possibly even some paid content as well.
Well, it says a lot having Van Eck as an investor, obviously, with that guy's smarts, and if he sees something, perhaps we should too. Give us a 30-second elevator pitch. The Fintech Awards, I want to find innovations that are helping create wealth, actual money or saving money. I say in the markets, but it can be out of the markets. Obviously, this one's very capital markets specific. Why should Vetr win this competition, and how are you guys changing the world?
So there's a few reasons, right? One is that no one's doing what we're doing. No one is actually providing star ratings for stocks. It just doesn't exist. We're the only ones in that business. And what the goal of that is to actually help users make better investment decisions, make better decisions to generate wealth. In addition to that, it's also to save a lot of time. So I'm sure, Kyle, you've felt the crunch as well. There's so much content out there. It's difficult to understand what everyone's thinking and saying. This is to save time, to cut through that noise, to give people an accurate view of the investor community, what their sentiment is, and use that as a data point to help make better decisions when investing.
All right, I'll tell you what, it's a big space. It's ambitious because no one's really cracked the nut. It's so fragmented for retail investors, all these tools, resources, education. Looking forward to see where Vetr takes it from here. JD, thanks for joining today.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. Appreciate your time.
All right, JD Singh of Vetr, co-founder of Vetr, and they are trying to disrupt the way we look at analyst ratings and star ratings by getting them from the crowd. The power of the crowd, the wisdom of the crowd. That is Benzinga Fintech Awards. Make sure to go vote for them at benzingafintech.awards.com, where we're trying to find better products to help you make money.